We'll get the phone easier than I can. I knew that's what I was trying to. Okay, I need to break mine. Who's here? It comes.
Jason.
Okay.
It's now in session for the city of Cleveland. You don't want to have a business come forward and shall be heard.
Thank you, David. Silas, for Robert and Tracy in their, loss with Brittany. Amen. Okay, got one visitor tonight, Mr. Jimmy Moore, who's really not a visitor. We get to see him all the time, so y'all come on up and fill up another chair.
I thought. I'm gonna shake your hand. You did that. I tipped the scales at 287 last week. I hadn't lost any weight, but I appreciate it. I'm almost getting to the fighting weight.
It's more fun putting it on than taking it off.
Pass those around, please. This is Cole Crozier.
How y'all doing?
We're getting ways, and that's our purpose here tonight, just to share with you briefly about transaction, the acquisition of ADSI and the company we had merged with prior to that, which was Evergreen Environmental Partners. As the mayor says, I like to know me because I'm too old to get. That just hits the highlights of the merger, not the merger, the sale. The only change, the short version of that folder is this. The only change you will notice is the name on the trucks at some point. Everything else remains the same. Contract stays the same. Nothing changes. They acquired all of the contracts that EEP and ADSI had at the time of acquisition. I'll let Cole say what he would like to say, but I can't remember the corporate headquarters. Tell me again. Charlotte, North Carolina is the corporate. Meridian Waste is the name. It has nothing to do with Meridian, Mississippi. Although it's unusual, and I don't think that's what drove this. The CEO, general name, Wally Hall, was born in Portable, Mississippi and grew up in Meridian, Mississippi. And I don't think that has a lot to do with the name of it. Robert is still in charge of your contract.
That was my first question.
He is. None of those changed. Where the rubber meets the road has remained unchanged. And they've been gracious enough to allow old gray-headed people to hang around such as myself. So I'm still here if you need to call me. I'm a mediator, if you will.
Well, y'all have done an outstanding job, and
Well, thank you.
you'll surely carry on. Cole, you want to make some comment?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Jimmy said,
Have a seat if you like.
I appreciate it. But like Jimmy said, nothing's changed. Robert's still going to be your main point of contact. Jimmy's still here. And then myself will now be here. A little bit about myself. I was born in Brookhaven, Mississippi, raised in Corinth. I have traveled the Southeast with the company. They've just recently moved me back to Mississippi from Greenville, South Carolina. I'm really glad me and my wife will be back here in Mississippi. We're really excited for this journey. I will be over the entire state of Mississippi. My office will be centrally located in Madison, Mississippi, going forward. So, we got a lot of great people involved, including Jimmy, and we just really looking forward to continuing this relationship with the company.
You be sure and get some cards for Shell and I for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
There's one thing I did not mention in there. The little white sheet, I think it's the first sheet in your folder. The toll free number is still the same. That remained unchanged. The email address for customer complaints or issues is listed there, customer care Mississippi at meridianwaste.com. Now, before that was a different email address, but it's changed to that. The red, white, and blue, the colored sheet. If you see anything wrong with it, tell me. It's easily changed. This will be on the website for every contract we have in the state of Mississippi and Alabama. And it goes over the highlights of the collections. If you see something wrong, one thing I put on here, and I failed to ask Michelle, please contact the city clerk's office. Maybe that's wrong.
It's fine.
That's got, all goes from there, I promise you.
Okay. So you can look over this. If any of you see anything, tell Michelle to contact me, you contact me, and we can change it. But that'll be on the website, and everybody, all your residents can go online, have direct communication with Meridian Waste.
And Jimmy had already given me that email address, and the ladies have already been using that.
Okay.
The new email address.
You Aldermen, why don't y'all feel free to put these in your phone where you. Right.
Also on the website, it's very user friendly. So if you go to our website, you can push locations and it has pins of where you're located at. Push it, it brings up all the contact information you need to provide in order to access our database. So any questions, you can easily access it through our
That's
website.
good.
Yeah, and please leave us some of your cards. The way the city works, what I may get from the mayor is a phone number. Now, a few minutes later, he's gonna call and tell me something, but if I just get the number and I know it's yours, I'm gonna call you before he calls me because that's what he likes. So
Absolutely, that'll be perfectly fine.
Well, Cole, we're glad to have you back in Mississippi as well.
We are-
But all the local supervisors are gonna stay the same, right?
Yes, sir. None of that changes.
Okay.
But not because of the merger, and I have no reason to believe it would change otherwise, but this acquisition has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
You got a good crew here in Cleveland. Thanks.
Thank you. I think so.
Hey, thank you.
We were at a meeting earlier today and, with Robert and, but it was in Indianola. And when we got back to our office, I left, came and got a room for the night. And, he said, I got to go. You or somebody called him from Cleveland. He was headed up here. So
Not in.
Robert takes care of business, which we.
Robert shows up on Saturday. Robert shows up all the time.
Yeah.
He's special.
Absolutely.
And I didn't say this at first, thank you for your business. I don't, we try to earn it every day.
You do.
Hopefully we'll continue to do that. Are we gonna be perfect? As I've said before in this boardroom, and I say, well, no. From time to time, we're gonna mess up because we're human. But the key is communication coming back.
The last thing I did before I came in the meeting was put my trash on the street.
Yes, sir.
I said, it needs to be on the
We
street.
need to be sure and mark all of y'all, so if I mess up, that's the last thing I want to do. I'll tell you, in my home, Lauderdale County, 3 weeks ago, my daughter called me. Dad, they didn't get my garbage today. Well, I figured it out real quick. It was a substitute driver and she lives in the country with a K. She lives in the country. Do you understand? See, as far as you can go without being where you can't travel. Oh, that's understandable. That night, my mama called me. She lives by me. She's 97. She's got a 45-degree driveway. She's a backdoor pickup. Didn't get it. So I said, would y'all please send somebody to get mama's garbage? Well, a week later, I was talking to her. She said, son, somebody stole my good garbage can. I got one that's ugly. And I said, so the guy went in to pick up and he didn't look. She's always got them in bags. I mean, her cart is immaculate. She's had it 10 years. So they didn't look. They had one in the truck to put it out, threw hers in, but I'm going to wash it. It's okay. When you talking about the fishes you work with and your mama,
Something going,
it gets serious.
yes, something gonna give.
Thank y'all. You can call us anytime. We'll be happy to answer, and that's a whirlwind tour, but that's it.
Thank you, Jimmy.
One question.
Okay.
Did we talk about getting a customer count during budget session?
We already did that.
Okay.
And, we had 2 city, wastewater employees ride with 2 of the Meridian.
Yeah,
employees.
we got a new couch.
Got a new count. It was around
Benefit.
200,
Thank you.
250.
Good.
So, the rest.
It needed to be done. We started out with a number that we were given. And Michelle said that number needs to change because water bill needs to change.
Yeah.
That reminds me of one question. I know you got a meeting to attend to. Who do I contact? Is it permissible to get a listing of all addresses in Cleveland to plug into our customer base
I can send you, as far as our
electronically?
You can
billing.
probably get
I
that
can
from the
ex-
guy in Oxford. Cause he just did that. He just did all that redistricting. He's probably got it in his database.
Well, I think I can also.
Is it okay just to send it to me and I can forward it on? Either me or Cole, either one. Cole or I. Cole or me.
And let
You
me
got
tell
your
you,
card?
yeah, I'll give it to you in just a sec. The reason why we're doing this is if we have a customer call into our call center we can easily identify who we missed, send it to the driver that is on that route. That way they can reroute and go back and pick it up. It's very user friendly. We're just trying to make it efficient enough to where we don't have a delay of a week before we get it. We're trying to make it quick. That's the only reason why we need it.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Absolutely.
y'all.
Thank y'all.
Y'all.
Thank y'all.
Okay,
Commission will depart.
Please.
thank you. And
Please do.
we'll go into a public hearing.
Adjudications per 21-1911, a one-page sheet for y'all. 114.5 Wilson Avenue, New Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church. 114 Wilson Avenue, Fred Edwards. 116 Wilson Avenue, Albert Murtis Walker. 704 North Avenue, Virgie May Wright. 821 Reverend Sammy Rash Street, Hotham Q. 409 Industrial Parkway Drive, Gene Doyle. 202 West Carpenter Street, Lindsay Property LLC. 515 North Sharp Avenue, Sanders Jimmy Inc. Rogers Avenue, Delta Diamond Ag LLC. 301 Glorioso Street, Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church. That's the complete list. Is there anyone here to answer to any of these? Billy, are there any requests for extensions?
No.
It would be in order for the board.
Let me just ask one question. I noticed building today that New Jerusalem looked like they had cut it. The path, is that the lot that's next to the church? It was cut.
No, I think on the dead end, going through there on that dead backside.
Oh, okay.
I'll double check it though.
And I read that one wrong. I said, I don't know why I said Glorioso Street. It's Glasgow Street.
We were reading.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Gary made a motion.
Second.
Any second, all in favor, say aye. Engineering, okay.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Just got a few things to try to get approved tonight. The sidewalk project that is going from the Stacey Park Boulevard to Hay Joe's and redoing section lighting. We're trying to get an MOA extension between MDOT and the city of Cleveland. We ran into some issues of right of way. It's been taking a little longer for MDOT to set up the meeting. I just got word today. We were setting up that meeting. So Miss Michelle and I, and Miss Mary McKay will sit down and get that knocked out going forward, but we're.
Came later this afternoon, didn't it?
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a motion.
All right, thank you. And then the next thing is the change order, final summer change order.
We need to vote.
Yeah, but Robert made the motion.
A second.
Danny second, all in favor, say aye. All right, next.
Next thing is a final summer change order for the street improvement project, the asphalt project that we had going on. And we came a little over, we added, swapped out some things with other things with Roy Collins doing the south, curb and gutter in downtown, so it came a little over. So motion, just
Need a motion for
so
that.
move to y'all to.
Ted made the motion. Second. Ryan second, all in favor, say aye. And they did a really good job. This is
good.
It's outstanding.
Yeah.
Glad to get that done. We'll later this year, we'll go through and go out through the city and start inspecting the streets to make a list for next year. And then the last thing I have is two quotes from APEC and from Joe Reed. With Bear Pit, from this project, the street project, all these millions, we took it to Bear Pit Park and a little bit on Amity Moore to resurface the parking lots. And so we're going to have a surplus of this millions. So we took two quotes to sell this to private companies. And so I had two quotes. One quote from APEC, like I said, and Joe Reed. Joe Reed actually is going to be the best quote because he's giving us more money per ton for the million.
And the purpose of selling this excess, the surplus milled asphalt is to purchase the curb
stops.
curb stops for the parking lot.
Yeah. You need a motion?
Yes.
I so moved.
Danny made the motion.
Lowest, the highest and best bid.
Highest and best.
Ryan second, all in favor, say aye.
That's all I have. Does anybody have any questions about it?
Questions, engineering? Okay. Danny, city attorney.
Thank y'all.
Hey, if anybody is, unless anybody has questions, the consent agenda is before you. It needs a motion and second for.
Motion to approve.
Gary made the motion.
Second.
Ted second, all in favor, say aye. Okay.
Okay, I've got a written update for you in in your folder. And then the first thing listed here for approval is this ordinance on underground boring operations. And I probably want to talk to that a little bit. I put some comments in there just for your benefit. We had a meeting with some executives and an attorney from Delta Electric Power Association. They made a request that they be exempted from the bonding requirement. That also is included there for you. You could pass the ordinance with an exemption for them, or you could pass the ordinance. Why? Well, he explains in the letter, Kirkland, but his main thing is, well, they pay you money. They send in $11,000 to the city a quarter because of their other operations.
Taxes.
Yes. So I get it. I spoke with Billy Trotter about it a good bit too. And we did have, was it the gas company a couple of years? Atmos requested the same thing a couple of years ago and y'all said no. So if you're going to be consistent, the answer would be no, but
I think we got to be consistent.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, that money they're paying to us, that's a franchise obligation. Who didn't,
Hard to do that.
state of Mississippi puts that on them.
I think we told them that.
I make a motion, we approve the resolution as presented.
Ordinance, yeah, that's, I second that.
Okay, fine. Kirk, all in favor, say aye.
And look, I did not put anything on this particular ordinance. You've got the ability to make an emergency finding. You're not in a state of emergency on that unless it just is a real problem. I would never recommend that. So I haven't recommended it here unless y'all wanted to consider that.
So we would be required to advertise
Right.
30 to advertise and wait the 30 days.
Yeah, it's not an emergency.
That's-
Okay,
That's it. The next thing I have three different things, and my suggestion is we probably do a motion in section for each. The first is a resolution hiring bond counsel professionals when you do your fiscal year 2025 bond.
So moved.
here, Danny, all in favor, say aye. Okay,
The same thing as a letter of engagement from Watkins and Eager for the 2025 bond. They've been your bond counsel for some time.
So moved.
Second.
okay, Gary, Brian, all in favor, say aye.
And finally, would be a resolution for approval of your 2025 resolution of intent to do your bond.
So moved.
Danny, Gary, all in favor, say aye.
And I believe that's all from me.
Okay, any executive?
I do not unless it comes up by question.
Okay, Mr. Trotter.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have Miss Angela Corbin here. She's asking for a special exception to the land development ordinance.
Okay.
Article 615, they have a medical facility in the B2 zoning district. It's directly beside Meadows Crump Law Firm. She's a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And she's working on a Dr. Brock, so she'd be writing prescriptions, so she has to get approval for special exception. A couple months ago, we revised the ordinance to allow by special exception only, so she's here for advertising. I have to be advertised.
Right.
That's in my, all right. Is that the house?
The little greenhouse.
Gentleman lived there for a number of years. Who owns that?
Blake Claremore, that live
Okay,
across the street.
across the street. That's who I thought, I heard his name on there.
I don't know
I
about.
don't know why.
I'm aware of.
It's on some of the papers.
So you're renting it then?
But she's gonna rent it from the.
She's renting from the Moors. That's that directly across the street from it.
Okay, well, they are the only residents
In that area.
in that block.
That's right.
Now, I hate to ask this, but there not gonna be any people spending the night there, are they?
Oh, no, sir.
We've had some trouble in our neighborhood before with
Thank you.
things like that, and everybody's very sensitive. I mean, I have a clinic right next to our office, and it's
It's just like that. It sounds just like.
can be a lot of people there, but it's not in,
Well, she's by herself. I think the one by you have several.
yeah, they got 2 or 3 people, so.
She's alone.
I don't see any problem as long as people are staying there overnight.
I got some folks I need to send to her.
There's a big demand for that, especially with children and families.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we need a motion. Danny made a motion.
Okay.
Gary second, all in favor, say aye. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, what else?
All right, my next order of business, several months ago, we came with Waterford Estates, second edition, preliminary plat. I have the final plat here tonight for approval. It's the 9 lots on Runman Road and Airport Terminal Road. And Josh and Clinton did the plat and everything looked good. They got the letters from DEQ and everything, so We just need to final approval.
That's everything on the west side.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I make,
It makes a turn and goes toward the fire department.
Couple more that way.
I make a motion to approve.
It's
I'll
just
second.
9 lots.
Yeah. Kirk second, all in favor, say aye. Okay,
That's all I have, unless y'all have anything for me.
No, that ain't all you have.
okay.
His report is unreal. Did y'all see how much construction we've had in Cleveland this past
Yeah,
12 months?
State the numbers, because
$22 million. $2 million.
$158,111.
okay, that's a great.
Wow.
this man does a marvelous job, y'all.
Thank you.
You know, it's a lot that goes into that. People invest private money. like
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Y'all feel free to go if you want to.
Thank you.
If you want to get bored real bad.
Thank you.
Okay, Anna?
How are y'all?
Hey,
Hey,
You have my report. The only thing I have is that I do need to add to my my train conductors. We did finally get the schedule for the American Queen, which is gonna add Michelle put it in Dropbox for y'all, but it adds a lot more time than what we're normally open.
Anna, when does that start?
The excess time really starts February or March the 1st.
All right, so we can approve this at our second meeting in October.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, if you want to.
Yeah, it didn't get in the Dropbox.
okay.
There.
All right.
Yeah.
She's
Oh, I'm
having
sorry.
to,
I thought I sent it. I'm sorry.
You did. I think I missed it. I think I missed it, Anna.
Okay.
I'll sum it up real quick. These boats, we have more and more boats coming in now. Well, they have like 19 stops that are going to be on Sundays when the Railroad Museum is typically closed. And so she's asking for a budget amendment for her to be able to hire conductors on Sundays so she can accommodate all these boats that are coming in.
Which I don't know that she needs a budget amendment just yet, because we know we increased it initially. But I think we'll have to watch her budget for sure.
Okay.
I think we increased it by 10,000, and from what I added up, it was gonna be about like 22.
Okay.
Because it's Sundays, and Mondays, and then I'm also gonna need at least one, if not two, extra people to work. It's
Each
just
one.
so many more people coming through the museum.
Mhm. And just since we budget by category, in my mind, I think we just watched.
Well, the only thing about it is she's also got revenue coming from those extra days that were not in our budget. So her revenue offsets this increase.
Yeah, it will.
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do it on the next
Yeah,
meeting.
we'll get it to where everybody can see it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Anna, okay.
Okay,
Good
thank
job.
you.
Thank you. All right, who's gonna be Dudley tonight?
I'm gonna actually present for him.
Okay,
No pressure, Jay. He's asking for approval of the lowest and best quote for, the Dodge Durangos. It's the first item.
Don't move.
Robert,
Second.
Brian, yeah,
And then there's another, set of quotes in there for the 2025 Chevy Tahoe.
So move.
Ted, Brian, all in favor, say aye.
May.
No,
Okay.
noted, Nate,
Right.
Cena.
Got it? And then the last item is approval of the lowest and best quote for the vehicle upfit package.
Annie, Brian, all in favor, say aye.
Okay, and that's all he has.
Michelle, let me ask you, Chief never said anything about the upcoming events we've got this weekend, did it? Is there anything gonna be needed, for this?
He has, so this morning in the
Yeah, we
department
did.
head meeting, he did discuss that. It's, basically all hands on deck. So everyone's working this weekend.
Yeah,
He's got a plan for that.
I
I
think,
talked to him twice today. They're wide open.
yeah, I talked to him right before he came in. Everybody's on hand, but most of Friday night will be down here
Right.
with the expo. It'll be the sheriff's department, provide security. We will help Saturday morning with traffic flow leading into the expo.
Okay.
That would be under us a little bit, but, anyway, I think we've had several meetings. I've talked to several different people about parking and different things. So hopefully it's a successful weekend.
It seemed like Saturday would probably be the biggest night at the expo.
That's
That's right.
what the lady told me.
Right. And I think it's really gonna start for them Thursday because they've got homecoming parade Thursday. Is that right?
I think it's Friday.
Is it, oh, did
Coming
it
down.
the
Yeah,
Friday?
it's different streets, but.
Coming down the hall.
What's the route now?
Well, it got changed. It's gonna stop
Up the-
at,
Oh,
is it Bolivar,
Victoria,
Victoria? Okay,
come around the pyramid and back to the school.
right. They can't come on down because the streets will be blocked.
They're gonna come down, North Bolivar. No, North Pyramid, I'm sorry.
North Pyramid, okay.
Isn't that what y'all sent out? That was gonna,
is that right?
Right.
Right.
we're gonna shut down early.
That's-
Yeah. Now, what time is that parade? 4?
That parade,
Yeah.
is it 4? At one time, it was gonna be 3:30.
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't,
3:30 and 4.
I couldn't remember what they finally decided on. That parade.
You won't have a hard
so
time.
many times. It was 3:30 and then it was at 4 and it was Friday and then it was Thursday and now it's back to Friday. So
They're saying 10
Have the
o'clock.
route on our site. Do we need it on there? Cause I didn't know that it had changed.
I suppose we can put it on our site. It's not,
You know, I know it's not a city of Cleveland
Right.
auction,
that's right.
you know, some
People
people may
that are
not
being-
know.
Impacted do know though.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everyone involved is aware of the route. I can get in touch with him and see if we can get it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Or just send it to me then, you know, cause I didn't know it had changed.
Okay.
Thanks.
It has been a moving target.
I am sure.
Okay. Other questions? Okay, Greg?
This week starts Fire Prevention Week, so it'll be in all the schools, and then, it extended from Fire Prevention Week to Fire Prevention 2 weeks, so we'll be doing all the head starts, and a bunch of other places next week as well. I'm also asking for, lowest and best bid on our air compressor. It's not a regular air compressor, as you can see by the price, it's a 2,216 pound breathing air, filtered breathing air. We asked for that in budget, so.
We had it in budget, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Karen?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, Zena?
Question, Mayor. Since the invoices were dated, the quotes dated June, are they gonna honor?
Yes, sir. It's actually gonna take, 6 to 8 months to build it.
Thank you.
Okay, got a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Mr. Mayor,
Hey,
Greg, I was looking at your call list. What's going on with Delta State? What's, has the relationships changed or the?
No. IHL is coming in with Glenn Babbage, our IHL safety director. What they've done is when you were on the fire department and, whenever Delta State had a call at a dormitory, what would happen is it would dispatch to the Delta State dispatcher. They would send a police officer to the dorm wherever, and then they would determine whether or not it was a valid call. Then they would call the fire department, we would go out.
And create a delay. I get that. So my point is, when we finally do get them to the table, we need to remind them of this. Cause we got more wear and tear on our vehicles and the guys coming out at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
It has gone in the Rolodex.
yeah,
And, we're working to, it's just where we are. IHL is, now, if you'll notice those calls, most, 11 and 12 out of 12 of them were at King Tatum. And they're working with a alarm company that is actually different than all the rest of them at King Tatum. It's an older system. Needs to be updated probably. It's about $80,000 to update it. And of course, Delta State pulls their card, which they're struggling right now. So we won't beat them up for that. So we're trying to work with them. They do have budget issues, but they're doing the best they can. We're doing the best we can. We're providing whatever service they need.
and that president's doing a good job out there. He's
He's doing a great job. And he actually was on scene to one of the fires the other day.
I'm not surprised.
No, we've had no issues with communication or anything. It's just something that was brought in from IHL. We've responded with, obviously an increase in calls. We doubled our calls last month. 11 of those Delta State, but we're gonna fix those issues they're working on.
Good.
And as long as they need us, we'll continue to respond.
Okay, that it, Jamie?
Good evening. Y'all have my report. We're same amount of dogs and cats as normal, but less staff and less, it's just a lot less animals moving out because countrywide, there's an issue with moving animals. So we're just trying to keep our heads above water like every other shelter we talk to, but we're keeping on, keeping on.
You're doing a good job for lack of employees and that's thing is.
Well,
Great.
the ones I have are really hardworking and I'm very lucky to have them.
Right. And you have a great attitude and that's good. Okay, questions? All right, Thomas. Afternoon, Thomas.
Seeking approval for lowest and best quote, the Mahindra UTV.
Okay, that was in budget too.
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay.
So moved.
So moved.
Right. Jerry second, all in favor say aye. Okay.
Thank you. That's all I have. Y'all have any questions?
Any questions?
Everything going okay?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely.
Good.
I got a full crew, and we pretty much took care of all of our, past, deals that, we just work on daily, call in now. So we're not really swamped or anything, so.
And by the way, Thomas has passed that test too.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
And I think, then you,
So we can hire him now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you call Hunter and tell him you beat him on the score?
I did.
Okay. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, proud of you for passing it so quickly.
Thanks.
Right.
Tom, is anything else on that lagoon about that situation that they've talked about over and over?
Right now, all the levels are back up. We're actually taking in, loads that we had to stop for a couple months because the water was so low.
Right.
But everything's back to normal.
As the weather
It's just been
changes.
so hot this year.
Yeah.
That the evaporation is making the water still, so those bugs are allowed to mature and hatch. And plus, we're keeping all the grass that was normally in between the lagoons and United Village that was 8-10 feet tall. We've got it cut down, so the bugs really have nowhere to go except for those apartments.
And gentlemen, what he's explaining is that lagoon of ours, Rash Apartments down there, sits right there. And some of the tenants are having problems with gnats and things found up around there
Mhm.
Is that in the city actually?
in the county.
In the county?
Right on the counter. Yeah. Counter, man.
But we helped some with it.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
And as the weather
As
changes,
far as
it
I
should get
know.
better a little bit.
Yeah, when it
Yes,
gets
sir.
cold, take care of it.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. All right, Steve-O.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't have anything outside my report unless you have something for me.
Okay, you got any questions, Steve-O? Because he's fixing to be rocking and rolling around here. Questions? Guess you're doing a good job, Steve-O. I ain't got no question.
Good, thank y'all.
Okay. You got enough otherwise, don't you, with some of us calling you every day?
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Okay. Well, Clint,
Evening, Mayor. I only got one thing for y'all this evening, and that's just permission to apply for the FY 2025 bill grant funds.
So moved.
okay, Ted, all in favor, say aye. Were you through talking? I mean,
Oh, yeah, when
Anytime somebody says apply for a grant.
this,
on.
this money's already been allocated for the hangar. We have to apply for it every single year.
Is that a renovation of the?
It is.
It's for the hangar.
North Ramp Hangar.
And good luck, you and Kirk this week with Cindy Hyde Smith here. That's gonna be great.
How did Thomas?
Okay, Christian?
Oh.
Hey, Chris.
My report, I'm just here to ask if I can apply for the lowest bid for the spraying of the parks. The company we typically go with every year that spray and fertilize all our parks and our fields.
Was this in the budget too?
Was, yes, sir.
Okay.
Move.
Okay, Robert, Ted, all in favor, say aye. Okay,
That's all I got.
I have a question.
okay.
Christian, I'm Kirk Pavall. I think we've met, but my wife and it seems like about 100 other people are very interested in pickleball, maybe 150, maybe 200. It's a growing sport. I know you are very aware of it and are trying to deal with trying to set up a means for them to play and a venue and so forth. how are you coming on that? I mean, I guess I need to ask that first question. You know, you feel comfortable with the arrangements you've got?
Pickleball, I mean, they have, if you ask them, they probably don't, but I mean, if you look at other cities, the only thing that we're lacking is the outdoor courts, which we have has been approved to get it done, the outdoor courts that we'll have more outdoor courts.
Where are they gonna be?
They're gonna be at Delta State.
Okay,
Behind the cafeteria.
Behind the cafeteria.
Perfect.
is there any thought?
But we have between Delta State and us, I mean, we have 6 indoor courts that they're more than welcome to use whenever they need. Delta State has 5 courts that they use pretty regularly. And then we have Fireman's, which is, you know, a public court, which is a first come.
I have a follow-up to that, Mayor.
Okay.
Has any thought been given to designating Fireman Park for pickleball and Bear Pen for tennis?
Yes and no. I mean, I would hate to do it because a lot of people, you have people that are around there, that's their tennis court to go to. It's easier to get to. And if you are doing training, Bear Pen, if you're training, you'll hit a ball and it'll roll to the other end. So you got to walk down like 3 or 4 courts to get your ball. So it's a lot easier for tennis to stay contained when training. And then with it being this late in the game, there's really no need to designate firemen's because we're about to have those parks. Those parks will be done hopefully the end of this month or.
They'll be.
The only other thing I think.
16. Yeah.
Again, I hate to use other examples, but you may, in Oxford, they have an indoor facility. It's larger than our gym, but we have a great gym that's gonna be in first class condition.
So what they have, so their gym.
Anybody can show up on Saturday or Friday or whatever. And they have 2 sides. One side's more advanced, one side's whatever. Rinky dinks like where I'd go.
They play in the morning time, so they'll have, so.
But you show up and they feed you into it. It's not hard at all to find a game. And you play an hour and a half, and then you say, I'm out. Somebody will take your place. And it accommodates a lot of people. I just don't want us to get where we have one faction that says we want to be in charge, another faction that says we want to be in charge. The city's in charge. You know, it's our property. We need to manage it in a fair way without letting people claim ownership of, you know, city property.
How many courts are you gonna be able to put in the gymnasium?
6 to 8, depending on how we lay it out.
And the flooring.
In the flooring.
Are you aware of how they do it in Oxford?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I went there before we ever decided to. So theirs is in the morning time. They'll have indoor and then after so many hours, then it's basketball. Then they kind of get pushed off.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. And just a window there for people to play in.
And that'll be something that we're able to do once we're able to get the AC and the new lines.
Perfect. That's all I have. Thank you.
Other questions?
Good job, on. No, thank you. Good job.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Did a good job.
A couple of things. In Dropbox, you'll see, our purchase order memo. Every year we ask for, exemption of named vendors. This is a result of our audit, I believe in fiscal year 20, if I remember exactly, but, just, certain vendors that are recurring expenses monthly, we have to, get board approval to exempt them from the purchase order process.
Okay, Gary made a motion, Robert second. All in favor, say aye. Okay.
And the next item I have is a fiscal year 24 budget amendment. This is for the fiscal year 24 street improvement project.
So move.
Ted,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
That's all I have.
Okay, Heather.
First thing I have is employee action recommendations, needing approval. Do you have any questions?
If nobody has any questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
Yeah, Gary made the motion.
I'll second.
Danny second, all in favor, say aye.
And then the second thing, we loaded all of the policies for revisions for the police department on our last board meeting. Danny, Chief, and I have worked on those. We believe that everything is covered. Danny also reviewed those again and Michelle helped us out with those as well. So we are asking for approval on those policies for the PD.
Okay, so there was no changes as it relates to, accreditation?
No,
Okay.
no. Actually, on the record service policy, that will beef that up and help those officers
Right.
understand that policy better and hold the vendors that we use more accountable
Okay.
for our safety.
Make the motion.
You feel good, Danny?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Robert made the motion.
Second.
Your second, all in favor, say aye.
That's all I have.
Okay. All right, Robert.
Mayor, I don't have anything. I just want to say to each of you, how much I appreciate you and during my time of bereavement. My wife sends her love as well, and I just want to tell y'all, you guys, and say thank you from the depths of our hearts. We appreciate you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Thank
I don't have anything there. Thank you.
you. Okay, yeah.
Yes, I was kind of concerned about West Lawn Cemetery, about it's full, and I want you to know the status of the Army base cemetery out there.
Okay.
Anyone?
Do you have any comment on that? I know you all met with Steve O and
We haven't yet. I can give them a couch and I can get that.
let's put it on the front burner. We've got the streets in good shape.
Get that day for you.
Okay,
Thanks.
Gary?
Just one thing, every year when we do budget, we make an appropriation to the Glenn Foundation. And they do a lot of health screening. And right before I left, I saw an email where they're doing screening at, Cleveland Central Middle School.
Right.
October the 11th. And to my knowledge, this is free screening.
Yeah, it went out to all our employees today.
And they giving flu shots, cancer screening, diabetes screening. It's great.
We take advantage of that. All of our, you sent it out today.
Not today.
Okay,
And we all were there.
great. Anyway,
It's widely used by our people.
I just wanted to make sure they were
They're
recognized.
getting their free shots.
Great service.
They're unbelievable, folks. Yeah. Right.
Mr. Mayor, I just know we got a lot going on this weekend. I appreciate the police department and public works for all their hours they're gonna put in, and hope we have a fun, safe weekend.
Yeah, I agree. Annie? I don't have anything either. I think you can tell by the length of our meetings now that these department heads are hard workers. And I appreciate each and every one of them, and I hope we have a safe weekend as well.
I'm in them over there.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
I'm confused. Second all.